Broadcasting from the Ante Up studio, it's the longest running poker podcast for the everyday poker player with your host, Joe Scales.
Hello, A-Team, and welcome back to another episode of the Ante Up Poker Podcast, where every hand is an opportunity, every player is a friend, and every episode is a winning experience. I'm your host, Joe Scales, and this week, I want to give a huge shout out to Goddard Play Money, who took down the Patreon Hold'em game last night. That makes 2 in a row for him, so that also means the bounty's going to be doubling next month. If you've been waiting for a little extra motivation to jump into the Hold'em game each month, well, there you go. We've got our mixed game coming up next week, Thursday the 18th, and we're firing up some PLO. Dooch will be the bounty for that one. And we had some new faces in the game this week, so I'm hoping that we have even more new faces this coming up week. These games are some of my favorite moments every month, and it's always great catching up with everyone around the virtual felt as well as on Discord. Now, before Elle joins me for Table Talk, I have one more announcement, and that is that the latest issue of Ante Up Magazine is out. You can check it out at anteupmagazine.com by clicking on the magazine tab, or you can grab it through the magazine link in the link tree. Lots of great stories in there. You don't want to miss that. And Elle and I have some guests joining us around the table again this week. So that's all I have for now. Let's get on with the show.
Find out what conversations are happening around the poker table with Table Talk.
Elle and I are back around the poker table
with 2 of our favorites, Michelle and Molly, out in Arizona. How are you today?
Hey there. Good. How are you guys?
We're really
We're
good.
good.
We're really glad to see you back and cannot wait to hear how did the fall series go.
I just wanted to jump right in. Like, how did it go?
Well, it went pretty well. We started it off with a $1,500 buy-in, and it was one day buy, and then the finals the following day. We had 223 players, and first place was over 78,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
It really started out really great. Then we did some $300 and $500 buy-ins, and then finished it off with the seniors. We ended up with about 665 of those players, and first place was 55.9. So it really turned out nice.
Well, and from the pictures we've gotten from Dustin, big smiles on all the faces. You guys, that series was highlighted in our magazine, which everybody can find off of our website. So check it out. What do you guys have coming up for this month?
And December's packed.
Oh,
I feel like
Yeah.
December is packed.
That's a good thing.
We have a lot of cash promotions for December, a lot of more charitable stuff. We had a great holiday toy drive.
Oh, good.
We had 418 entries, so over 400 toys donated, and then additional cash donations of $6,100 going to the community charity that distributes all the toys to the families.
That's
which
incredible.
was great. Yeah, it was really good.
That gave me cold chills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on
I wish I'll email you a picture of the table set up with all the toys. It's so fun every year, like to see all the different toys and know that it's going to, worthy cause, and just seeing how much fun that the players have playing this tournament. It's a lot of fun. And then a lot of cash promos. I mean, we have high hands this weekend, this Sunday, $1,000 high hands. They start at 10 in the morning. And then we also combine it with football. We call them football tickets out here. We give out little cards and they have numbers on them. And if the score in the game that we're watching lines up with your ticket, then you win money. So we give away a ton of money on Sundays in general. And then we added the $1,000 high hands on it. We should have all 69 tables rocking and rolling this coming Sunday.
Well, that is fantastic, and I wish we could be there. As soon as you said $1,000 high hand, I'm like, how much
I know.
is a ticket to Talking Stick, Arizona?
If you can't make it this Sunday, the following Saturday, every good company needs a holiday party, right? Like a company holiday party. So we're having a poker holiday party with cookies and hot cocoa and cash. You get to open up, we've been giving out tickets since December 1st. If we draw your name, you get to go pick a present, and the present's going to have anywhere from 500 to 5,000.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
In addition to high hands and hot seats and all kinds of fun. But yeah, I mean,
if you win one of those, it'll pay for your trip.
I know. So that's the place to be. That is the place to be in December as far as I'm concerned. And I will keep that in mind for next year. 100%.
Bring your ugly sweater, because we're also having a contest for that too.
Okay, good. I've got kind of one on today. So I'll be prepared. I have all the things, the glasses, the headbands, the hats. I get into all sorts of holiday stuff. So
that
sounds like you guys have a lot of really cool stuff. And I love hearing giving back. That's one thing that's important to the A team, and, betting on better. Anytime you can do that, we would love to be able to support you and just be able to let folks know how to be able to do that. So Arizona sounds like the place to be in December. You guys are adding in some really cool fun. Anything for New Year's?
Well, of course. I mean, it wouldn't be New Year's Eve if you're not playing poker.
Right?
So as soon as our holiday party is done, we're transitioning. We're still going to give tickets for high hands out.
Okay.
But those drawings on New Year's Eve, we're going to have 7 drawings for $2,026 each.
Oh, wow.
All the way till 2 a.m. In addition to high hands of $226 and random hot seats for $126, and then a complimentary champagne toast at midnight.
But during the day, we'll be having a tournament for $200 buy-in. We're adding $5,000 to the prize pool. That starts at 11:15, and we should get about 300 players. So like you said, about 7 o'clock, 7:30, in time to enjoy the New Year's.
Wow.
That's awesome. You guys have it packed.
Yeah, you really do.
You weren't kidding.
Yes.
But it sounds like all different types of price points, lots of different opportunities to just jump in. And I love the fact that you can play during New Year's Eve day or in the evening, because sometimes, folks have other arrangements for the evening, or if you're like me, you're starting to get to the point where staying up till midnight I could be snoozing by then if I'm not careful. So, fantastic. Well, any other current events that you'd like to talk about going on out there?
Yeah, then right after New Year's, the very next day, we have a 3-day staycation. I don't know if you've heard of this before, but it's very nice. If you buy in, there's 3 tournaments, a 200, a 300, and a 300. If you buy all 3 days, you get to stay at the hotel at the resort for 2 nights for free. So it's really nice. And you can also satellite in. We run a couple satellites for 110. If you get the satellite, you win all 3 days of tournaments and the rooms.
Oh my gosh.
We do it 3 times a year, so you'll have to check that out. January, April, and October.
January, April, and October. And December. Those are the times to be in Arizona, is what I'm hearing.
You guys
and then August, and then, May, and then just move out here. Just come out.
We're already tempted by the landscape.
What is the temperature out there right now? Because I might move tomorrow.
It was 69 degrees just a little while ago.
Oh my gosh. When we've already had
the sun was warm. It was a little it was warm outside.
Yes.
As you can see, I am bundled up because it is, I don't like the cold anyway, but it is beyond cold.
It has been pretty frigid here. We've already experienced 2 snowstorms and lots of days of things being canceled out here on the East Coast. So the winter is in full effect out here.
Yeah.
Sure.
The winter is in full effect here. The golfers are enjoying it, right? The hikers are enjoying it. Full on winter.
I love it. I love it. I love you guys so much. Thanks for making us laugh. Well, we've been watching, of course, some social media stuff flying around all over. So there's always some new poker something happening. The WPT is going on out in Vegas, which always generates, just like the WSOP in the summer, it always generates, some extra things. And then WSOP is in Paradise right now.
Yeah.
But actually, they interviewed Molly from Molly's game.
Yeah, Molly Bloom.
Molly Bloom. And I've just really found it interesting what she had to say about, now she's running a different kind of game than our everyday poker player is usually involved in. I mean, I'm not going to play with Leonardo DiCaprio at her game, right?
Not.
Well, I mean, I'd love to, but anyhow, She had some fun things to say about observations of folks she saw playing in some high stakes games.
Yeah.
Right.
She broke them down into 3 categories. Basically, the self-destructive players, which they're the ones chasing losses and putting their finances and their relationships in jeopardy, right?
Yeah.
But then you've got the chaos, volatility seekers, which are just really the action junkies, I would call them.
Yeah.
And then
Thrill seekers.
Yeah.
That's what they used to be called. Thrill seekers, right? Yeah.
And then you've got the lovers of the game, which I think is where the majority of our listeners would fall in that lovers of the game category. Like you said, she put on a whole different game. She put on these games that were super, super high stakes, and they were an underground games. They're not going, they're not playing those games in a casino or something like that. They're playing those games
behind closed doors.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they say. But what I loved about the reason I even brought it up or thinking about it is sometimes when you go, poker players are just poker players. No, actually, they represent lots of different communities, families, all walks of life. And what I'm finding is I can never predict who I'm going to sit down next to. And that's part of the thrill of playing the game is like, who's going to be my next
100%,
competitor, right? I mean, we played against, if you want to talk about even just age differences, I've sat down at tables with 21-year-olds who are, betting on the sports game that they're watching while they're playing with me versus how old was the guy that I played against in Coco Poker? 94 years old, sharp, and happy to be there, right? So, tell us what you guys see coming in and out of the poker room every day. It's a mixed bag, right? That's the exciting part.
If you kind of think about it, right? Poker is one of the few places you can go by yourself, right? It's socially acceptable. You go in by yourself and you sit down in your seashell, right? I mean, some people can go to the bar by themselves or go out to a restaurant by themselves, but it's not as socially acceptable as it is to come into a poker room. I know myself, I prefer to play by myself. I don't want to go with a group of people because if I'm stuck, I'm going to stay a little longer. You know what I mean? If I win, I want to be able to leave. I don't want to have to wait for everybody, right?
Right.
So we have such a great community out here in Arizona. There's people I've known for 27 years. I mean, I know their families, I know their wives, they bring their grandkids in, they want to introduce their family to us. I mean, it feels like a family in a lot of ways, but it's a diverse family because you're right. There's like this up and coming generation of poker players in their young 20s. They are ready to go. They're firing at it and they want to learn everything. They're sponges. They're talking about it. They're talking about the theories and all of that. And they got the old timers who are like, yeah, he caught an ace on me.
Yeah.
He's seen it 1,000 times. Right.
It's so true. And another thing that I really found, somewhat comforting is there's so much opportunity for mentorship and friendship in the midst of all of that, right? Like, I can't tell you the number of texts Joe gets from young college guys who are asking, what should I do in this spot? Or how could I have played this better? And I have friends who are saying, I just went to my first tournament and I'm not really sure if I should have done this or that. And it's just been, opened a door to having more conversation. Like you said, you may play by yourself, but the community that it brings is really what keeps drawing me back to poker. And that's what I liked hearing, Molly comment on was lots of different people. Like even when we set up bar poker here, I would have never met some of these folks had we not started playing poker together. And I cherish those friendships that we have. So it's just cool to see the game bringing people together consistently and growing. Like you mentioned, there is a huge wave of young players that's really exciting to watch.
Yeah.
It is.
And it makes a difference, the people that you're sitting with. If we were all the same, then that would be the most boring game in the world.
Absolutely.
So it makes a difference to sit down there with people, and it's such a, I hate use this phrase, but it's such a melting pot. It really is. Like, you can sit down at a table with somebody it's their first time there.
Right.
And you can sit down with somebody, like you said, that's 94. That's been playing since they were 17, probably.
Yeah.
Or longer. So I love the game. I love the whole aspect of it. Like from the veterans to the newbies.
Yeah.
It's so fun to be involved with all of them.
It is.
So,
And another heartwarming story that we heard this week is
this is
there's
so
a
cool.
comedian that is walking the halls of the WPT at the Win, and he runs into to somebody who ends up just complimenting him. Remind me of his name. Troy
Wes?
Hawk. No,
Oh.
Troy Hawk is Troy Hawk. I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah,
Troy
yeah.
Hawk is the comedian, and he's always wearing this like fantastical smoking jacket with a scarf, and he's got this crazy mustache. And at first you're like, okay, this is a character. He's in character. What is he doing? Right. A man named Wes Larson had just gotten into Vegas for the first time with his family, wanted to play at the WPT, ends up getting mugged on the street of Vegas with his son in tow. And he said, just to diffuse the situation, I just took my cash out of my pocket, which I'm assuming was his entry, and said, off you go. Right. Which we would all do at any point in time if we could with our family members. And so that had happened, and Troy Hawk is walking the halls, and Wes happens to walk past Troy and goes, I really like your purple jacket. A man who can rock purple is, important in my book or something. Yeah. And they chat about this situation, and Troy Hawk gets him an $1,100 buy-in into the main event.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is.
And it goes back, honestly, that goes back to the sense of community that poker players have for each other.
100%.
I mean,
yeah.
It really does. It might be a small subsection of like the gambling world, but like we really take care of our own.
We do.
Yeah. I used to remember hearing stories about Binion, back in the early days of the World Series at Binion's, and how somebody might bust and he would give them, airfare or whatever to get back home. Because that's what we do. We take care of each other, We
want to see you back at the felt at some point. Yeah. We've all been in the ups, the highs and the lows, and I think we can relate to those high highs and those low lows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's stories like in some of our high limit games, they might take every single chip from somebody at the table, but then they all go out to dinner and they have a crazy expensive dinner,
Right.
But they want every chip because it's competitive. They're not going to give them an inch on the table.
Yes, I live with one of those. I'm fully aware. If he could take every single one of my chips, he would, and he still has to, live with me. So I get that.
I believe she points at me, but I think the feeling is mutual.
It is. If I can take all of his chips, I would do it gladly.
Yeah.
You're not going to play this
That's
game
awesome.
unless you have some sort of competition going on.
Right.
So,
Right.
And last, just fun thing that we found this week. You guys mentioned hot cocoa and cookies. You may want to check this out. This is not a paid ad. I just saw it this week. Liquid IV to stay hydrated has been a packet of all sorts of, I think, minerals and what are those called?
Electrolytes.
Electrolytes. Yes.
Yeah. You can just toss into your water bottle,
Yeah.
shake it up. There's lemon, lime, there's berry, there's all the things you're used to. They have a hot chocolate one now that you can put in with with hot water, and they're advertising, do it with hot water, mix it up, put a little whipped cream on there, and then off you go, and you stay hydrated. So you may want to check out some of those packets. Yeah, try it. We're going to get some and try it on air next week.
So
I think stocking stuffer idea.
I think that sounds fun. Have you tried the rainbow sherbet flavor?
No.
It's unbelievable. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, rainbow sherbet.
Well, and that's something I like in the winter.
That's a good one too. But I was thinking about hot chocolate, and I'm like, this has to, if you're drinking this at the table, you have to be less likely to tilt, because I don't think you can be angry and drink hot chocolate. So,
I don't know. Challenge flag. I'm going to throw that down right now. I have a feeling there's somebody somewhere that will still do it. Oh, God. If your pocket pear gets cracked, you can still be mad with hot chocolate and whipped cream on your face. Oh, gosh.
That's funny.
Well, we certainly always love having you guys on. We laugh, we cry, we giggle. It's been so fun to see you guys. Anything else that you can think of that's happening this week, this month?
this month, I think we hit the highlights, but hopefully, I hope you guys can make some travel plans for the end of January for the very first major stop of the MSPT, which is
Yeah.
our first time partnering with them to put on this event. So
Oh,
check
okay.
out both our website or the MSPT website for all the details. But I think we might be the place to be. Not only do we have this going on, but there's a lot of other fun things going on in Arizona at that time of year. So
Okay.
All right.
Fantastic. Great to know.
We definitely got to get out there for the warm weather anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll have to find a time that we can make
We'll
the
be
trip.
checking our calendar, trust me, after this.
I mean, Elle, if you want to compete to be, the second annual National Women's Poker Champion,
Ooh,
we've set dates for that too.
Okay.
February 28th and March 1st, it's our second National Women's Poker Championship. So,
fantastic.
Nice.
All right. Well, we'll be checking our calendars and seeing when we can make it out there soon because we're ready. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of when. It's not if.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we're certainly looking forward to it. All right,
come out
everybody.
of the snow, come out of the cold.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. I think Joe will be ready for a respite by January anyway. So
It's
January,
true.
February would be a good time for us to get out of Dodge. That's
Yeah.
about when you get
Perfect.
squirrely.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So,
It's true.
well, as always, it is a pleasure being around the table with all of you.
Likewise.
Likewise.
Hey.
Yeah. Thank you very
you.
much.
Now it's time for Call the Floor with Elliott Schechter.
Elliott Schechter joins us each week to say how he would rule in situations that come up in your games. And he's with us again this week. Ellie, how's it going?
Things are going pretty well, thanks. I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm bundled up. I've got my warmest hoodie I can find on.
Uh,
I'm telling you, I'm in the wrong state for this weather. It's good to have all four seasons, I guess, but I'm getting more and more likely to want to move to somewhere that's warm all the time.
well, there's a lot of warmer states that have a lot more poker, so yeah, you got a lot of good choices out there.
That is fair. It's a business decision.
Exactly. Easily justifiable.
Right. Speaking of business, we have a call the floor that's sent in by Ivan Jarvis. And he says, Elliott, I have a ruling from a recent tournament. They played TDA rules, standard setup. Player A is tanking on the river, and he's facing an all-in bet from another player. He is the only player left to act, and while he is deep in thought, they turn over one of their hole cards, obviously trying to get a read on the other player as that card made trips on the board.
Sure.
The dealer immediately calls the floor. He explains that the player intentionally exposed one of his cards, and the floor declares player A's hand dead because of the exposed card. So, Ivan asks, is that the correct ruling? And even if that's not allowed, should the player be given a warning or a penalty with the hand staying live? And he says, thanks for the wisdom.
Well, apparently they were using most of the TDA rules, but not all of the TDA rules. The TDA does address this and doesn't allow us to take a player's hand away. There are still some card rooms out there that are using some form of this kill an exposed hand rule. Well, that's got to stop. Taking somebody's hand away is about the worst form of punishment one can come up with, and is not reasonable in any way. It's one player to a hand. So all of a sudden, if a guy exposes a card or two, we are deciding to discard the hand instead of the actual player who owns the hand. It's not right. It doesn't make sense. And as Ivan correctly brought up, we can assess a penalty after the hand. And generally, this is going to be pretty steep. We're very likely going to give a minimum 3-hand penalty and maybe even longer. So there's ways of doing that. And if the guy's doing this every other hand or every time he's in a showdown, yeah, we'll eventually send him to the rail for the rest of the tournament. If we have to. Hopefully it never gets to that and shouldn't. But you just can't take somebody's hand away. There's no reason to do it. Not in a situation like the hand's live. It's still in his possession. It's still his turn to act. It's not reasonable to take it away. It's just not a good thing. The rooms that are still doing this need to stop. This is the wrong way to deal with player etiquette and player behavior.
Well, let me ask this question, because he did mention that these are the only two in the hand. So I feel like that even in and of itself makes this less of a quote unquote crime. Because their heads up, and I know you shouldn't do it at all, but the fact that they're heads up, I feel like this should be less of a big deal as well, because he's literally just almost like table talk with this one person. But it doesn't make a difference.
On the face of it, that's reasonable. It's two players in a hand. One is trying to get a read from the other. Their actions can't affect anybody else at the table. Now we've got other considerations. In a cash game, it stops there. That is the only consideration. The blinds never go up. People can come and go. You can cash out your chips. You can buy more chips. So any one hand is only played against those players, period. And when you're heads up, you're only playing against that one player. And anything you do is not going to be consequential past that point. In a tournament, there are several more considerations. You can't come and go as you please. You can't cash out your chips. You can't buy more chips at late in stages. Most importantly, you're not just playing the players in the hand and at the table. You're playing, theoretically, the entire field every single hand. It's just that space considerations and being that there's only 52 cards in a deck, we can only deal in so many players per hand. So we're divided up amongst tables. But it's a tournament and everybody is still playing everybody else. So theoretically, the entire field is participating at every table. So when you're exposing your cards, you're not just affecting that one hand and trying to win that one pot. You're still affecting the overall play and conduct of the tournament, which is why this rule exists and which is why it needs to be enforced. Exposing your cards should not be allowed because you're giving away information intentionally to other players with whom you may have some kind of agreement. So again, also it's a waste of time, and players want to see the next hand. And if we delayed the playing of the next hand every single time because somebody's trying to gain information via this method, tournaments would grind to a halt. And we fairly exhausted the ways we can increase the amount of hands per round and still make tournaments fun, enjoyable, and playable. So yeah, on the surface, sure, exposing your hand only affects that one hand and that one person. In reality, no. You're still playing everybody in the field and you're still treating everybody that way. And you're wasting everybody's time, not just your opponent's time.
I know that the misconception is that table talk is okay when you're down heads up against somebody. You can talk as much as you want, and that's not actually the case, right? So,
well, now we're getting into specific rules for specific venues and specific tours. Some tours have more liberal rules because it plays well in a vlog or on streaming or than any other number of ways. It can be more entertaining. That doesn't mean it should be. And some casinos, card rooms, tours don't try to allow a whole lot of it, just so that we can expedite the game. The more time we waste, the less fun it is for everybody.
which brings me to my point, which is that this is kind of the same idea, right? Just because your heads up it still isn't allowed because you're still slowing down the game. And to your point from earlier, yeah, I didn't even think about you are giving information to the whole table.
And you're not truly heads
Information
up.
that
It's a tournament
another table is not
situation where
reporting.
the field is set and you're still playing everybody in the field. Everybody is playing everybody else. It's a single entry, single player event on multiple tables. Everybody is still theoretically playing everybody else. You don't win the money or your prize award because you eliminated the player you're in the pot with. You're winning because eventually there are fewer players than there are paid positions, and you win prize money based on your time of elimination. So again, you're not just playing the person you're in the pot with. You're playing everybody in the field, and the conditions have to remain the same. You can't just be exposing your cards all the time.
Well, what is the rule in TDA for a situation like this? I know you mentioned that the TDA addresses it, but what does it say in this case?
I want to pull up the rules because I want to quote this correctly. Rule 67, no disclosure, one player to a hand. Players must protect other players in the tournament at all times. Therefore, players, whether in the hand or not, must not discuss contents of live or mucked hands, advise or criticize play, read a hand that hasn't been tabled, etc. Rule 68, exposing cards in proper folding. Exposing cards with action pending, including a current player when last to act, may result in a penalty, but not a dead hand. So killing the hand was obviously not right there. Any penalty begins at the end of the hand. Therefore, in the middle of the hand, you got to let it play out. When folding, cards should be pushed forward low to the table, not deliberately exposed or tossed high. So yeah, it's rather explicit. Just not allowed.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to lay it out quite that explicitly. So yeah, that's good. It sounds like they definitely had the right intention, but got it completely wrong. I mean, Ivan, it sounds like you were spot on though in catching this one. And you had two parts of the question. The first part is it was the correct ruling, not the right action.
Well,
I guess.
I mean, they knew what they were ruling on was not right. They didn't rule it correctly. So the penalty was absolutely incorrect. But yeah, they found something wrong and acted on it, and after that it was haywire.
Yeah. So it doesn't work to be partially right in these cases. You've got to know, especially when it lays it out literally word for word, that this is not the way to do it. You shouldn't kill the player's hand. So
not for this. There are spots where we take a player's hand away, and that's when they've thrown a punch or spat at somebody, and they have to be ejected immediately, no questions asked. But for breaches of rules and etiquette, we could take care of it after the hand is played. The cards are still live. The pot is still under contest. We're not making that decision by who gets to win a pot. We're not picking winners and losers. We are going to provide consequences for behavior. And like I said, if it's violent or unseemly, we'll make an immediate decision. But otherwise, if it's merely the technical play of the game, we're going to wait till after the hand to apply a penalty. And that doesn't mean it won't be incredibly stiff.
Right.
But we're gonna let the hand play out. It's only right.
Yeah, I mean, even when we watch these tournaments on TV, if a floor has to make a ruling or a decision on something, then they want to talk to the player. It's always, we're going to have a discussion after the hand is over.
Exactly.
So where this went off track, I'm not sure what the thought process was there by the floor in this case, but kudos to you.
There are
Ivan,
card
for
rooms
calling
that are still operating under this rule. I have known several in the Pacific Northwest. So there are places that have had poker for decades that have operated under rules from many, many years ago that shouldn't be applied now, but are still in effect simply because changing things can sometimes be more difficult than putting up with bad rules.
Well, Ivan, that should clear it up, and I appreciate you sending that in. And if anyone has a call the floor that they would like to know how Elliott would rule, send it to podcast@anteupmagazine.com.
Please do.
Elliott, appreciate you again.
All right, very welcome. Love
And
doing it.
we'll see you next week.
Looking forward to them.
Let's break it down with Hand of the Week.
Welcome to Hand of the Week, where Patrick, our resident fish, and I dive into listener-submitted hands. Each week, we tackle everything from questionable bluffs to hero calls and the hands that make you scratch your head. Whether you're looking for strategy tips or you just want to see if you would have played it any better, we've got you covered. Patrick, big week this week.
It is a big week this week in a lot of shapes, forms, and fashions. But I do have a quick thought. Maybe this is
Okay.
a new part of this. Thought of the day from yours truly. Do you think there are guys and ladies driving down the road, meeting to meeting, sitting on their couch, wherever they listen to us, and they're just screaming at whatever device they're listening on, going, "You would check there"? I mean, I was thinking about that last week, and you know what? If you're doing that, I appreciate that. We're getting there. You know, it's been a very fun ride. It's going to only continue, but they also have been all over you too.
Yeah, they've
We're having sweatshirts made up soon.
Yeah, Joe's a knit. Yeah, it is interesting. You know, poker is such a fun game because there's 100 different ways you can play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We go into these hands trying to play them as much like we would in the moment as we can, right? Because we won't know. When we get this hand, we don't know what's going to be happening from street to street. So, you know, it is interesting to see people, because people will message.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes they'll talk about them in the Discord. They'll put the comments in there on YouTube, or they'll send me an email. And it is interesting to hear the other takes, right? Sometimes I'll listen back and be like, you know what? Yeah, I did play that wrong, or whatever. But I'm making the decisions. We are making the decisions in the moment, and we're going to make mistakes in the moment, just like we do at the table. Everybody makes a mistake. The pros make a mistake at the tables. It just happens.
Yep.
But we're gonna see if we can break out of knit mode this week.
I like it. What do we got this week? Who sent one in?
We have a hand of the week sent in by Grayson Ingram.
All right.
And Grayson is playing 1-3 no limit hold'em. He has $400 in his stack, and he's sitting under the gun with the Ace of Hearts, King of Diamonds. So, all right, I like that.
Yeah, we should be able to do a little work with this. I like this. Okay.
So, I think we've been doing this long enough. We can both agree we're raising here.
Yes, we absolutely are. I'm assuming it so we're here. Yes, we're definitely raising. I'm assuming you're going to be in the 3-ish times, maybe a little bit more range.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about this actually.
Is this because 2026 is coming up and you're going to have a new motto for 2026?
Maybe. I've been thinking about my game at the 1-3 level, because it seems less and less like $10 is enough, which is where I've been usually. 1-3, it would three times the big blind would be 9, so it just rounded up to 10. That's where I would be. But I feel like $12 is the new $10.
Let me ask you this, and I think I already know the answer, and so do a lot of people out here. In these 1-3 games, a lot, I feel like you're catching a lot more callers at 10 than you are at 12, or even if it's a little bit if this is the right terminology, Joe, tell me. If not, my critics leave me be for a second, but a little looser game in 15 is a little bit more of a norm. Is that accurate to say?
I would say 12 to 15 is where you've got to go. I do feel comfortable at the 12 because it's not a lot more than 10, but it still seems to mentally have people thinking, oh, he's serious, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Even though you're just adding $2 there. I've only tested this theory in my last cash game, so more data to come. But
you can report back.
But yeah, I think I'm going $12 here.
Okay, I like it. I'm right in line with you. I had 10 or 12, so I'm good with 12.
Yeah, let's let everybody send me your comments on whether or not you have been upping your bets in like a 1-3 game or not. But Grayson still sticks with the $10 option. He raises to 10, and the cutoff calls and everyone else folds. So maybe I'm way off base. I don't know. That makes the pot $24. The cutoff, he says, has $350 in their stack after making the call.
Okay, so we got him covered, which is always nice.
The flop comes the King of Hearts, 9 of Diamonds, 4 of Hearts, and we are first to act.
I'm going 12 again.
I think I had a little bit bigger number in mind.
You're closer to 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, I think we flopped exactly what we wanted here, so I'm definitely going to continue.
Okay.
$20 seems like the sweet spot there. So that's where I'm going. Grayson just checks, though.
Okay, couple of thoughts real quick. One, I've been playing too much online poker because it's very easy just to tap the, half pot button and just continue. So that's probably where that 12 came in. So let me go on record for that. I'm going to go on record and say that the check humbly is not a great idea.
I don't think it's a great idea.
It's not the worst idea, but I don't like it.
Yeah, we have the problem of we gave them control now, and we were them checking back, and so then we missed some value from that. So I don't like the check there.
I think that's the only thing, and tell me if I'm wrong on this one. The only thing I don't like about that in this scenario is, I mean, we're not really flopping a whole lot better than where we're at, and I don't want to lose any value right now.
Right. And
I mean,
you
let's say he misses, I mean, he's sitting on, whatever he is, and he wants to see another street for free, then we lost value out on the street. I don't like that.
Grayson says, I think my hand is good, but vulnerable. So I want to control the pot size with the intention of calling any bet. And the villain bets $18.
Right, kind of in line with what we were thinking.
So yeah, definitely. I don't think I want to raise here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Are you?
Oh, really, Joe? Because I probably would not have been in this situation because I probably would have bet here and I would have called a call. If I got raised after betting, then I probably would just call that raise, but I don't know. Top pair, top kicker.
It does give you control back.
Do we just double it up? Just simply double it up. Maybe more, to be honest with you, 18, 36, 45 maybe. I like that. I think I'm coming back over the top.
Well, now my brain switches to kind of where Grayson is in the pot control side of it.
Fair.
Whereas we've got top pair, top kicker. There is still a flush draw out there. $20 is where I wanted to be. We're right there close to that anyway. So I'm okay with
just relinquish control for one round.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Grayson makes the call, and the pot is $60. The turn is the 7 of clubs. So the board is King of Hearts, 9 of diamonds, 4 of hearts, 7 of clubs.
Please tell me you're leading out here.
I
I'm
feel like
getting a sweatshirt. If anybody would like to send me Joe's sweatshirt, come on, Joe. All right, let me see if I can tell you that what you're thinking. Now that it's switched, how Grayson's played it, you checked and called. You want to do it again and see where we stand.
yeah, we checked the flop. We got to continue the story.
Fair enough. All right, no arguments. I get it. I get it.
If we bet, we're not getting better hands to fold. So the only people that are getting out of the way are worse hands. And then this card should basically be a brick for our villain, right?
Right. You would think
Doesn't
so.
complete the straight. It doesn't complete the hearts. It doesn't improve us either, though. So I think I want to check, give them the ability to continue to bluff at it if that's what they're doing, and have the intention of calling like we did on the flop.
Okay. I get it. Yeah.
And Grayson does check.
Okay.
The villain bets 45. I think that's a standard bet sizing, so a pretty easy call. We're ahead of most of their range.
They could take on it for a few seconds, make them think. Yeah.
Let me ask you this though: what if they would have made it like 75?
This is where Patrick of December 2025 and Patrick of December 2023 is a very different guy. If he makes it 75, I think he's, it's for an analogy of overcompensation. I think he's driving a really big truck with lifted, tires, and he's overcompensating for something. I'm shoving. And for anyone that has a truck with oversized tires, I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying in general. Do you see what I'm getting at, though? Is that wrong?
I'm probably not going to say what I was going to do because I'll just end up getting the net card again.
Shut the front door. You were going to fold?
If it's
top pair, top kicker, what are you making this kid on?
They're going 75 plus, then I just feel like they're representing some kind of big hand there.
Yeah, like king, queen, and they're down.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But luckily we don't have to deal with that because they made it 45 and we're all calling.
Just 45.
Grayson calls as well.
What is it, 150?
So the pot's 150. Yep. The river is the 3 of spades making the board. King of hearts, 9 of diamonds, 4 of hearts, 7 of clubs, 3 of spades.
All right, I'm going to ask you some questions.
All right, shoot.
Do you make them on 9s?
Possible.
Maybe. Possible. I don't make them on 4s. I really don't.
Probably not.
I don't think you make it to the turn on 7s.
Okay.
I really don't. I think the only hand right now that beats us is 9s.
9s are definitely in that range. I feel like 7s could be in the range too. Maybe. Maybe. But
aces definitely no.
Right. No aces, no kings, no queen.
I'm feeling very good about this hand.
What are you doing?
Let me ask you this. If you were feeling as good as me, would you then flip the script now and on the last street come in, or continue what you're doing?
Okay, well,
with a check call.
I'm going to answer your question with a question.
I hate that.
If you bet here, if you lead out, say half pot, so 75, right?
Yeah.
And they come over the top, what are you doing?
Calling.
What if you check and they put $75 out there, are you raising?
Probably not, but maybe.
You
I think
feel
if I had a little
confident that
more,
you're
I think I had
winning
a
the
little more
hand.
background, I would.
Yeah. I just feel like it's one of those pot control kind of things where I'm going
Yeah.
to let them put the money out there. It's not a big pot. So
No.
I could see going your route to, if you feel super confident, going your route and building the pot up. But I'm not sure that I'm as confident as you. I feel good, but not great. We have top pair, top kicker. We have one pair. So I'm not trying to go crazy and then them end up having king 9 or something,
Yeah.
So I'm checking.
Okay. For the record, I'm not against that.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't know. I'm kind of right on that borderline of confident to where I don't know that I would actually raise, but I'm definitely going to call.
I feel like we have the perfect bluff catcher is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Grayson also checks.
Okay.
And the villain goes all in for $305 into a pot of 150. So my question earlier was, if they bet 75, you were like, well, then they're overrepresenting. Is that your thought process here? Because that's the first thing that comes to my mind is they just want us to fold.
Yeah, I do. I'm snap calling.
Whew, I don't know that I'm snap calling. I'm gonna think about this for a minute. That's a massive overbet.
It's a massive, massive overbet. And
the only thing that makes sense here is that they want us to fold. My question is, what is the thought process of someone at the 1-3 table? Are they really bluffing 2 times the pot at 1-3 to get us to fold or to make the call? Or it's such a
I don't
bad
think they're
price
looking
too.
at. I don't think they're looking at catching a. Well, I think it's an overcompensation for a bluff that they don't think that we're going to call with most of our pot.
Right, like missed hearts kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just that it's such a bad price to call. Like, we have to be right something like 40% of the time for this to be a profitable call. And our play, the way we played this hand, checking every street, was designed to induce a bluff. So
Now that they've bluffed, you call. You call it. Listen, we start out the show every week, and one of the lines is hero calls. I'm putting on the hero cape. I'm calling. We haven't had one of these in a while. Grayson, tell me Grayson called.
I'm gonna try and break my net mold here and make the call. It was my first instinct. That was my first instinct. Was
Okay.
they're trying to get us to fold. So I'm just gonna go with my first instinct, even though I don't like it, because I'm like 1-3. I just don't feel like they're putting their whole stack in as a bluff. But let's see what happens. He says, I end up making the call,
Atta boy.
and the villain quickly turns over 9 of hearts, 9 of spades. So he flopped a set.
Womp, womp, womp.
Oh, wow. So much for breaking out of the net mold.
So much for the hero call.
Yeah.
Should have been rephrased as zero call.
He says, considering villain's aggression, what is your preferred line on the flop and why? Let me take this first. If we lead
Please,
out,
Professor, go ahead.
on the flop and end up facing a raise, either there or on the turn, either one, then maybe I can start to look at some other hands that beat us.
I think I'd feel a little more confident about them holding nines if I'd caught that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right. I think if you lead out from the flop. Now, no one's saying that they're going to raise. If you lead out enough, they're just going to continue to call you and be happy as a clam. I mean, I'm not quite as good at eye rolling as my kids are, but I'd give that guy a real big eye roll with a twice the pot all in,
Yeah, the river's what kills me because that big of an overbet is what made me believe that they wanted a fold. Wow. That's tough.
That stinks. Yeah, that hurts.
I just wanted to be right so badly.
Oh, I already felt it. I had like a celebration dance to do over here on camera. You guys are gonna have to wait for that for next
Yeah.
week. Yeah, Grayson, I think the one thing if you're probably thinking it too because you asked the question. I think if you lead out on the flop there, then maybe you find out more information instead of
Yeah.
just check call, and then you get the house thrown at you. And
Yeah, I
just
think
like the
that
Wicked Witch of the West, it landed on you and killed you.
when I think back to the call on the river though, like top pair, top kicker, we're just hero calling. Are we confident enough that we're beating all of the plausible hands there? Maybe we should have just let it go.
See, I don't have the numbers as much as you and some of the other guys. It's something I'm still working on. I don't. If you threw out 40%, you got to be right 40% of the time to make it profitable.
Yeah. Because
When
we're
you said
getting
that, I hesitated.
yeah,
I didn't.
yeah,
I was confident, but I wasn't that confident. I don't think.
yeah.
I think I make that call every day, though. If the way that hand's played, I think I make that call because I don't feel crazy confident that they're sitting on nines. I may
Yeah.
come on king queen. I
I
may
mean,
come
we
on king
talked about that
jack.
it makes sense.
Huh?
We talked about the fact that it makes sense. It's in their range.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
But Grayson, I'm really glad you sent it in.
Yeah, that's a really good one to send in. Thank you.
I right or wrong, I broke out of my knit, so maybe that can stop getting the emails there. Maybe I was too aggressive this time, but whatever. But yeah, I appreciate you sending that in. And if anyone has a hand of the week that they would like to know how Patrick and I would break it down, send it to podcast@anteupmagazine.com. Patrick, we'll see how things shape up this weekend with the Pats and the Bills.
See you Sunday at 1, Joe.
By the way, I got I did get a message from What's Up Doc that plays in the Patreon game. He sent me a little picture to remind me who was in first place in the AFC East because I said I couldn't, and it was escaping me who was there. But
you know what? It'll be very interesting. We gave the rest of the NFL 5 years, and all you guys did with it was throw Patty Mahomes and those boys out in KC up to the front, and Jalen Hurts and it's I don't know. We'll see.
yeah, so
I'm going to go on record though. I still think Josh Allen. If I take one quarterback, you tell me I have to take one quarterback in the NFL right now, today. I still think I take your boy.
Yeah.
For all my Patriot fans out there, come at me. I don't care. Give me another season of Drake May before I start making that comparison. I mean, don't get me wrong. Drake May's made some passes where, he's sitting in the pocket and it's just a flick of the wrist. I mean, we're not having to Phillip Rivers, reach back and throw this thing, Sorry for the side hit there, Phillip. But yeah. I mean, he just a flick of the wrist. They're accurate. He's got the receivers. He's definitely got an amazing future, and I think it's going to be very, very bright. So we're
I will not disparage Drake May. I think he is a great quarterback. I think he is a good quarterback. We will see if he
no,
becomes
you
a
said it
great
right the
quarterback.
first time.
And well, we'll see. We'll see if he becomes a great quarterback. Right now, the Bills already have a great quarterback. So we'll see how this shakes out on Sunday, and we'll have something to compare notes
Might
next
have
week.
to go on a DraftKings and put my money where my mouth is.
All right. Well, I'll see you next week, and good luck to your boys.
Sounds good. You too, buddy.
It's time for Joe's 1-Outer.
If you've played enough poker, and if you're listening to this podcast, you've probably played enough poker, you've seen this guy before. The player who will fight tooth and nail for a $6 limped pot. I mean, tanking like it's the main event bubble, all for a pot you could fit inside a child's piggy bank. But put him in a big pot, a moment that actually matters, and he's folding jacks face up like he's donating to charity. No fight, no resistance, and we laugh at this player. But honestly, we do the same thing in life. We spend our emotional energy sweating the small pots. Someone cut you off while merging. The barista got your coffee order wrong again. Someone, and we won't name names, continues to load the dishwasher like they're trying to solve a geometry puzzle with their eyes closed. Those are tiny pots. Yet, we bet big into those. We get angry, we get stressed, we get tilted. Sometimes for the entire day. We blow our stack on something that shouldn't cost us more than a polite check fold. And then, on the flip side, the big pots come around. The things that actually matter. Our health, relationships, long-term goals. And what do? We check behind for pot control. We fold when we should be fighting. We push important conversations to the side because they feel uncomfortable. It's like we're afraid to play for the pots that really count. But here's the thing. Both on the felt and in life, the big pots shape your session. The small pots don't. If you find yourself tilted over the little annoyances, snapping at people you care about, burning mental energy on trivial inconveniences, you're bleeding chips into pots that don't matter. Meanwhile, the big ones, the things that deserve your attention, your patience, your investment, they're not getting it. When you find those small pots, rather than putting too many chips at risk for those, let them go. Just muck it. Don't invest the energy. Instead, find those big pots you've been underplaying and make a bet. Schedule a doctor's appointment you've been putting off. Start the thing you keep saying you're gonna start someday. Make a real move on a real pot, because in poker and in life, small pots decide nothing, but big pots decide everything. That's today's 1-Outer, and that's today's show. I'll see you next week, A-Team. And until then, I'll see you at the tables.
The Ante Up Podcast is a production of AnteUpMagazine.com. Contact the show at podcast@AnteUpMagazine.com or call the show at 540-339-7741. If you'd like to advertise, send an email to editor@AnteUpMagazine.com.